Another form of payment might be on the chopping block, the good old paper check. Priscilla Thompson explains why the Fed is thinking about ending the production of paper checks.
Paper checks, they've been a fact of life for, well, pretty much as long as banking has been a thing.
I'd like to cash this check here, and then I'd like to take you out for a steak dinner.
But whether you're cashing them,
and I'd like to cash it,
or writing them,
$1.09.
in today's digital world, it can seem a little old-fashioned. And now, the paper check could bounce for the final time, after the Federal Reserve announced it's considering overhauling or even winding down its check processing services. In a recent notice, the Fed writing, "Over time, check use has steadily declined. Digital payment methods have grown in availability and use, and check fraud has risen." They're still asking for input from the public, but whatever they decide to do could have an impact on consumers.
You can easily see the domino effect. Banks outright might stop using checks over the next few years. If it's not happening from the government, then why would it happen in the private sector over time?
So will checks go the way of the penny, which the U.S. Mint stopped making last month?
3, 2, 1.
The Fed isn't alone in taking a hard look at paper checks. In September, the Social Security Administration stopped sending out benefit payments via check, switching instead to direct deposit and payment debit cards. The SSA saying those methods are faster, more efficient, cheaper, and more secure. And a number of big retailers, including Target and Whole Foods, have stopped accepting personal paper checks. It's probably not surprising that Americans are also putting down their checkbooks. A June study by the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta found the share of bills paid by check in 2024 was just 7%, down from 19% just a few years ago. And that over the past 7 years, electronic payments and debit cards have taken over as checks decline. Still, not everyone is in favor of checking checks. One Fed board member writing a dissent to the Fed's notice, saying in part, in 2021, about 11 billion checks were written. Checks remain important payment mechanisms for consumers and businesses. Any transition might be tough for some vulnerable populations, like seniors, who struggle adapting to new tech.
That's why you can't eliminate it right away. There's still millions of people that depend on it.
The American Bankers Association telling NBC News the Fed's move is a, quote, positive step forward, but adds it's critical that any transition ensures inclusivity. People we spoke to were divided.
It's sad to see, just like the penny, but I think it's the way of the world.
I still use a few checks myself.
I haven't used a paper check in maybe over 10 years.
Not exactly a blank check to do away with paper, but the writing may be on the wall. Priscilla Thompson, NBC News.